Good morning. I thought we could talk about some of my reading plans for the day. So my first goal is to read a few pages of Crime and Punishment. My cousin Hannah and I are reading this together, and we're going to discuss chapter 5 on Thursday, which in my copy is only 12 pages. Then I want to read a little bit East of Eden. I love this edition so much. It's one of the older Penguin Modern copies with like the mint blue spine. I love the picture that they chose for it. And I kind of decorated my copy. I put some stickers on the back, and it was kind of falling apart a bit when I found it, so I had to do a little like taping along the spines and stuff, but I think it's just such a gorgeous book, and they're really well made. So I am on page 158 through this. It's like a almost 600 page book. I'm definitely taking my time with it. There are some chapters that read a lot faster than others. Sometimes the story can be really gripping, and sometimes it can be like really slow and meandering. So I'm just trying to keep a somewhat consistent pace. So I'm gonna try and read like a chapter of this today. Now my fun book that I'm reading right now is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, I think you say. I'm really enjoying this. I had only ever seen the very first Jurassic Park movie, maybe like a year or two ago actually, because that's one of Ryan's favorites. So he made me watch it, and I liked it way more than I expected I would, but then I never watched any of the sequels. But then he started reading the book, and then the newest movie just came out in theaters like a couple weeks ago with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. He's all the reason I need to go and see that movie, which we actually went and saw it last night. So we had like a bit of a Jurassic Park marathon over the past week, and we watched movies 1 through 6, like all of the sequels. We watched like one movie every day, and like some days we watched 2 of them. And then we watched the newest one, number 7, Rebirth, in the theater last night, which was so fun. So I've been reading the first book. There's only 2 books in the series, and then like the rest of the movies are just kind of like their own entities. I don't know precisely where I am in this because I've been listening to this a lot. Okay, I think I'm on page 70. I need a bookmark. Cute. I have a reason to use this little ribbon now. This has been my for fun book that I read if I want to listen to an audiobook while I'm driving, and I just picked up the library book a few days ago, so I can actually read it physically too if I'd like. My favorite character is Ian Malcolm. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of characters yet, but just based on the movies, Jeff Goldblum, a punk mathematician. You're bringing my 2 favorite things together. And then I do want to listen to some more In Rainbows by Radiohead today, which I started this CD yesterday, but half of it I listened to at home, and then half of it I had on while I was at Goodwill. So yeah, the half that I listened to while I was at Goodwill, I don't even remember it. So I'm gonna listen to the rest of it. So far, my favorite is definitely 15 Step, but I also really like Nude, Weird Fishes, and All I Need, which are basically the entire first half except for Body Snatchers. I'm not like crazy about Body Snatchers. I like the ending of that song. This is my second Radiohead album. I've only listened to The Bends so far, and so this is number 2. I think that's it. And then I do want to do some writing today, which I don't really ever show in these videos, but maybe I will show. I'm excited to get started. I'm having a really good day. I just have a good feeling about today. It's really nice and gloomy outside too, which is cool because that means that it's not going to be super hot, which I love. It is so crazy bright out. You can probably hear my neighbors, sorry. You can also see the mess over here packing to move, so I'm not going to clean it. I thought I would give a little writing update, which I never do. But I made, oh gosh, I don't even know how to show you this. I printed out my manuscript, and it is very delicately spread in like little piles where I know everything that's going on, but it's a lot. When I watch YouTube, I mainly watch book reader content creators. I watch a few writers, not a lot, but I have been watching them lately, and it's interesting. The point in their novel where some of the creators that I watch are at is very similar to where I'm at, which is like draft 2, draft 3. I don't even really know how to distinguish my drafts from each other. I suppose I'll call this draft 2. And something I'm finding as I'm like reading through the manuscript, which I printed out just to get away from my screen for a little while, because oftentimes I'll pick up my laptop to write and then end up just like watching YouTube, watching The Vampire Diaries, which I've been rewatching. I haven't watched it since high school, and I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in. But just doing something that isn't writing on my laptop. So I printed out the manuscript so that I could try and just not have the distraction of all the other stuff on my computer. Something that I'm realizing via watching those other writers and their YouTube videos is that I think my editing process is a little bit, it's not working. I'm trying to salvage things from my like original, from this manuscript. I'm trying to put it all together and like add the things that need to get added. But because when I first wrote the novel, like my first stab at it, the first draft, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who the characters were. I didn't know what the relationships looked like or like what people's voices sounded like. So I'm still not 100% on some of those things, but I'm a lot clearer about how some things are supposed to sound versus when I originally wrote it. So it's feeling like a lot of things just need to be cut, and I need to rewrite far more than I was expecting. I thought that this draft was gonna be just like moving things around and like adding stuff to connect things. I hate cutting words because I'm such an underwriter. I always have this idea of a scene, and then by the time it gets on the page, it's so much shorter than I imagined it would be. So because I kind of feel like I put so much time into getting the word count up to where it currently is, which is something like 40,000, which is not even that much. I mean, that's this draft. That's not counting the previous version, which was probably like another 30,000 words. So because it's so hard to get my word count up, it feels like so gutting to cut things. The fact of the matter is that a lot more rewriting just has to happen. And it's kind of freeing. It's very scary to think about because it just means that there's so far for me to go. When I printed this out and started editing this, I thought, oh, the end is in sight. But now I'm realizing the end is still very, very far. So it hurts in that way, but it also feels freeing to know that I don't have to like try and beat this thing into submission, because I'm trying so hard to like make conversations work when there's like 90% of it is stuff that I don't like anymore, and there's only like 1 or 2 lines in there that I really like. So trying to put those things together and change the 90% so that I could keep that 110% has been so grueling. And I think rewriting it will be an easier process because I think I've become a much stronger writer just from the process of writing that original, like not great version. I've learned so much. So I know that rewriting it now, it'll be a lot better. And maybe I'll have to rewrite it again. Maybe not rewriting the entirety, because like some of the later scenes that I added in, I do still feel pretty good about, but like some of these scenes I wrote in like January, and I started this project in January. So some of them are still in their original form from January. And I mean, it's July. I've got 7 months of writing experience, of writing nearly every day from then until now. And my writing has become so much stronger. So it's like trying to fix stuff that was written from like a much lower skill level than I'm at now might just be harder than trying just rewriting the whole thing from this point. So non-writing related, I just kind of wanted to show you this bookmark that I made for my friend Oksana for her birthday. I just went through Pinterest and like found some pictures of things that we have watched or read together, and then the back is like kind of blue themed. The front was a pinker one. I printed this out and just like taped it together, kind of like a fake lamination sort of thing. And this version came out a little bit too big, so I redid it and made it smaller and sent that one to her for her birthday. Or was it for Eid? It was for Eid, never mind. But yeah, I kept the big one for myself, so now we're matching, and I just thought it was really cool and wanted to show you that. I'll also give a short reading update. I'm now at page 179 in East of Eden. I have, since I last spoke to you, I've met Kathy, which if you know anything about this book, Kathy is talked about a lot as being horrible horrible person, which totally is, but she is the most interesting character to me. Whenever she's on the page, crazy stuff happens. So she's just extremely entertaining to see. So I'm very excited to read some more of that. And I'm also reading this book. I think I'm going to DNF it. This is I Love You So Much, It's Killing Us Both by Mariah Stovall. This is marketed on the back as an emo novel. NPR blurbs it on the front. A rare thing, a genuinely successful rock novel, which is what really intrigued me about it because, I mean, first of all, the title is fantastic. And it heavily revolves around the punk scene and emo music, 1980s hardcore to 2010s emo, it says. And it's just like a literary fiction about a girl who's a freshman in college and like how the music is influencing her life. She's also dealing with anorexia, which I don't think it ever said that on the back, which is kind of weird because I'd say the main thing about this book is her dealing with anorexia, which I honestly don't love reading about. Maybe it's not the anorexia specifically, it's just this character definitely has like a very circular pattern with their actions. Like she just does the same things over and over, which I think is supposed to be the point with her anorexia recovery, is that like she gets a little better and then she gets worse and then she gets better and then she gets worse, and it's just happening over and over again. And it's kind of feeling like very heavy on my soul to read it. I don't know, I'm just not having a good time reading it. Even though I'm interested, I'm like kind of having a bad time. So I'm halfway through, I'm on page 153. I've put in so much time, so I kind of want to finish it, but I don't know, I just get so frustrated with it. The author does have really great prose though. I've got like so many things highlighted in it, and it just like really relatable feelings of like being away from home for the first time, being somebody who loves like emo music. I think those parts are kind of cool. I think they were cooler in theory because like a lot of the bands that she's talking about, I have no idea who they are. I think there was one single band that she mentioned that I knew who it was, and like I consider myself to like that genre of music, but I just don't know what she's talking about. So don't know if I'll continue with that or not. I guess I'll give you an update. I'm here to wrap up the video now. You just saw me doing some journaling while first I listened to Jurassic Park. That's what I had on my headphones for most of the time I was doing this. I figured it was appropriate to listen to Jurassic Park as I was making my Jurassic Park spread. So these are all the pictures that I printed out and I cut. Okay, nobody asked for this, but my official ranking of the Jurassic Park sequels. First one's the best one, obviously. And then, I can't remember. Do you guys see a thumbs up button? What the heck? Okay. I can't remember everything, but I love the first one. I love Jurassic World, which is the first movie of like the second wave, because there's the original trilogy and then there's the second trilogy, which are following different characters. So I really love the first movie and the second trilogy, which introduces Star-Lord. I don't remember what his character's really named in it, but like he's Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. That actor plays Star-Lord. So every time Ryan and I were like referencing him, we were just like, oh, where's Star-Lord going? We just called him that the whole time. So I love that one because I love the whole training the raptors sort of thing. So these are Star-Lord's raptors. There's Blue. Love him. Or her, rather. These are just all the movies. Ian Malcolm, of course, had to dedicate some page space for him. But yeah, I love Jurassic World. I love I don't know what it's called. I love the one that all of the cast gets together, like the main cast of the first movie and main cast of like the second trilogy. They all come together. It's movie 6, which the names are so similar, so I don't know if it's called Dominion or something else. It might be Dominion, I can't remember, but I love that one too. Honestly, it's a crime that my least favorite one is movie 2, which is Ian Malcolm's movie. It was just a horrible story in my opinion, but I still love Ian Malcolm, so that at least helped. Anyways, yeah. And then there's the banner from the first movie, the iconic banner, When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. So I just left this empty so that when I finish reading the book, I can write my thoughts in there. So that was really fun to make because I haven't been journaling a whole lot this summer. While I was at the library, I did pick up a couple books, even though I've been telling myself to stop because I'm moving so soon, so I'm trying not to have a bunch of books that I'm gonna have to return, but I can't be stopped. So I grabbed The Rose Garden by Sasha Payton Smith. This is a really interesting premise. I'll just read you the inner flap. Every citizen of England is granted one bargain from their immortal Fae Queen. Honestly, that's all you need. It's like The Bachelor, kind of, but also with that whole thing going on where you get one wish from the queen. And it's blurbed by a lot of authors that I like. Just kidding, just one. It's blurbed by Carrie Maniscalco, who wrote Stalking Jack the Ripper and The Kingdom of the Wicked, which I like her YA romances, so I think this will be a good one. This is a YA romance, if you can't tell. So yeah, I really liked the first page. Oh, Stephanie Garber also blurbs it right up here. I love Stephanie Garber too. I really hope that I'll get to this before I move, but if not, I'm sure audio will be fine. So I also grabbed this at the library, which is Mirror Mirror by Gregory Maguire, who wrote Wicked and a bunch of other like fairy tale retellings. This is pretty clearly a Snow White retelling, but I was especially intrigued because on the back it says, the year is 1502, and 7-year-old Bianca de Nevada lives perched high above the rolling hills and valleys of Tuscany. I don't think I've ever read a book with the main character that has my name. I already like Gregory Maguire's writing, and a Snow White retelling sounds really cool. And then it's also got my name in it, so yeah, I had to take this home. I really, really hope that I can read this week. I probably won't, honestly, but maybe I'll just get started. The chapters are super short. I'm excited for this. Okay, next, I have decided, it's so hard. I think I'm gonna DNF this book. You saw me read a little bit of it, and I was trying to show you the mixtape in the back because the numbers of the songs, like this is 21, it coordinates with like the chapters. So right here says 21, so you're supposed to like listen to that song while you read it, or rather that song is supposed to be somehow related to what's going on in the story at that point. I was trying to show you that. I'm currently watching some of my old videos and editing them to post them, like things that I've been like recording throughout the first 6 months of the year but just never posted. So I was reading this back in January and I still haven't finished it because I took like a 4-month break after January because I've been getting rid of a bunch of books before I move. I've been trying to like pick up things that I've put down and see if like I want to take it with me or if I just want to let it go, and I think this one I'm just gonna let go. Which is sad because I was really enjoying it in the beginning, but as I get further into it, I just am liking it less and less. So I think I'm gonna put that in like a little free library box, and I think somebody else might like it a lot more than me. I don't have any major updates for East of Eden. I'm now at page 185, and I've now met Samuel, who I really like, and Lee. I really like Samuel and Lee. They're really interesting characters. Maybe I'll make like a dedicated video about this book because I feel like there's so much to say about it that I don't want to like talk for like a really long time about it in this one. So maybe I'll give more updates some other time on that. And then finally, I haven't mentioned this in this video at all, but I am kind of reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I only bring this up because, like I said, I am rewatching, editing, and posting some of those clips that I've been recording this year and never posted. And one of those things that should probably be posted by now is my 10% check-in of reading Mistborn. And I have not really read much. I guess I have gotten to 20% actually since then, but I haven't read it for like the past month or two. So in case you watched that video before this one, just letting you know that I will be getting back into Mistborn, and another 10% check-in will happen soon. I think that's everything. I'm just gonna stop it here. I have so much footage to edit and post. Spent like the whole morning just kind of like sorting through that and editing it, so you will see several videos very soon if they're not already up. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.